All right. So we need to cut a promo. We need to cut a heel promo on Aussie Legends. All right. Well, no time like the present, as they say. So, bring it on, he says. All right. All right, Legends. Here we go. You ready? Heel promo. Here we go. Heel promo. Aussie Legends, listen to this right now. You think you make cute little videos, you want to interview people and be a big shot? Buddy, you're no one. I am a real deal superstar, and you Aussie Legends are just a wannabe. You can do as much as you like, but end of the day, I'm still bigger than you. Love you, Legends.
Thanks for doing the interview. How are you?
Good, man. Good. Thank you for having me.
And I wanted to start with how did you start Twitch?
How did I start Twitch?
That's to Twitch.
Yeah, man, sure. So, all right. Well, so I started wrestling in January of 2004. I started with WCW Australia, which then became Major Impact Pro Wrestling, which is now IPW on the Gold Coast. Started wrestling in January of 2004, made my debut as the Giant Koyote in January of 2005, and then pretty much wrestled all over the world between 2005 to my last in-ring match was 2019. I got injured in 2018 with my foot, came back from wrestling, and then a few complications, and then obviously the world shutting down because of the wonderful pandemic.
Yeah.
And then I had a full foot reconstruction in October 2020. And I was like, oh, I'm going to be home for 6 to 12 months doing nothing. Might as well give streaming a shot, because at the time, guys like Jake Nova and The Warship had started on Twitch. And I was like, hey, I love video games. I love hanging out and chatting with people and interacting with people. So, I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. So I joined up Twitch in July 2020. And then I was like, I'm not going to start streaming until I've met the requirements to get affiliate. So got my followers. And then once I got to 50 followers, I was like, all right, let's start streaming. So my very first stream was August 20th, 2020. Got my Twitch affiliate a week later and never looked back. So yeah, I've been streaming full time ever since.
Yeah, I remember I discovered your account with Robot Cop.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
when it was.
You go.
No, you're right, man. No, yeah. RoboCop was a lot of fun. Good game.
Got all the way to the end.
Yes, yeah, man.
I
Played it all
when
through.
You were looking for a cat or something.
Yeah, I think so. It was one of the missions, like trying to save a cat.
How did you discover wrestling?
So I've always been a fan of it. I have many, many wonderful memories of it. But the first time I ever saw wrestling on TV, I was about 10 years old, and my grandparents had a Foxtel. And I remember one day flicking through channels, and all of a sudden I see this, thing on TV. I'm like, oh, what is this? And I actually remember it was Ken Shamrock and Shawn Michaels on an episode of Raw, and Ken had Shawn in the ankle lock, and yeah, that was my very first memory of wrestling. So, for on TV anyway. So yeah,
I don't really remember mine because I think I was like 4 or something. My brother just had WWE on, and I walked in, and I think it was like John Cena or Rey Mysterio. I remember and Undertaker. Those were the 3 guys that I liked. So I'm guessing they were maybe in the first match.
Yeah, cool.
But
very awesome, man.
I dressed up as a little Undertaker saying trick or treat.
Nice. Very nice. Awesome.
How did you start getting into training? Like, how did you discover it?
Yeah, so the first time I ever saw live wrestling was in 2002, and my mum took me to a local show and for WCW Australia, and I just fell in love with it. Larger than life characters, good versus evil, the showmanship. It was amazing. It was an absolute spectacle. And then we spent the better part of 2 years trying to find a school, and we didn't really have access to the internet and stuff, and it was just hard to find anything. And then one day my mum actually was looking for acreage to rent for our horses, and saw an advert at literally the corner shop, and there was like an ad like, paddock for rent, come visit. And my mum went and met with a gentleman, and he invited her in for coffee. And she sees this big championship belt on his coffee table, and she's like, "Oh, are you a boxer?" And he's like, "Oh no, I'm actually the Australian hardcore champion. My name's Harley Seth." And Mum rings me, and she's like, "Get ready, I'm coming to pick you up." Mum picks me up. I meet Seth on the Sunday afternoon, and I started training the following Wednesday. So January 4th, 2004 was when I started training.
And you were still in school, right?
Yeah, I was still in school. Yeah, I was literally in high school.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was 15.
Yeah, I remember walking around like shops seeing like this.
Yes. Yeah, the IPW flyers.
Primary school.
Nice, man. That's awesome.
Right on the school hall.
Yep. Perfect.
Yeah, so you just got right into wrestling at the age of 15.
Yeah, man. I was 15 and a half. Started training under Peter the Hawk Ball and Cruz and Sweet Ass and Mason Childs, or Australian Wolverine now. Nick Excel, all the amazing wrestlers from WCW and IPW. BJ Blade, some amazing Aussie legends. So yeah, it was
States. He said it.
Incredibly lucky to do that. And then trained all through 2004. I did have a couple of characters before I was Coyote, but they were sort of one night only sort of gimmicks. And then oh yeah, sure, man. So my very first character was called the Executioner.
Was that the one in the mask?
Yeah, it was one mask. That was one. So I was a very young baby faced teenager. Like I was 6'4" and no facial hair, nothing. So yeah, I had a mask on. That didn't work out. And then the following month, I was Sweet Ass's bodyguard, and I was called Titan Tower. And then that didn't work. And then I did a show as Ben Lee from Bean Lee, and that was they were like, that's not going to work. And then Hawk's like, all right, a few months later, it was literally the last training session for the year. And he's like, I want you to go home over the Christmas break, have a think of your character, come back with me. I'm 16 years old, madly in love with Dragon Ball Z and anime and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to call myself Sinku the Mystical Giant, and just do this character where I was like, super go happy, lucky. But if I got angry, I'd rage out. Anyway, get to training after the break. I walk in and Pete looks at me and goes, Coyote. I'm like, I'm not going to argue with the boss. I'm like, yeah, cool. Why? He's like, because you remind me of Wile E. Coyote. You just won't go away. So,
so that's how I so much research. I don't know how many photos I got of that character.
That's awesome, man. But yeah, so I got given the name Coyote in January 2005 and never looked back.
Like you were still in school. What was your first thoughts like when you were walking down the ramp? Like, there's a crowd. Man. This is the first ever time.
It was really cool, man. Like my actual debut match as Coyote actually happened on a show in a country town here in Queensland, and there was like 8 people in the crowd. We ran the same night as the national rodeo. So like it was, you're in a country town versus a national rodeo. Everyone's gonna go to the rodeo. And I actually I wrestled Sorrow, and even then it was still awesome. Like it was an incredible feeling. And I was like, man, this is amazing. And then and I went to school on Monday and telling all my friends, I was like, I did a show on the weekend, and it was wicked. So really fun. Like such a surreal moment that all my work had paid off to fulfill a dream sort of thing.
I'm guessing people were confused when you came back to school after a big fight.
Oh man, one of the funniest stories ever. So in January of 2006, I won the MIW Hardcore title for the first time. And so that was my first ever singles title, because prior to that, I had won the tag titles twice in 2005 with Scorn. Scorn and Big John Marshall were both my tag team partners, sorry. And I won the hardcore title, and I got busted up and had a few bumps and bruises and everything. And I go to school on the Monday, and the deputy principal and the guidance counselor were waiting at the front gate. And I kid you not, they're like, "Oh, can we have a word?" I'm like, "Yeah. What's going on?" They're like, "Look, we've heard some reports that things are really rough at home." And I'm like, I live with my grandparents. They're like, "Yeah, but is everything okay?" I'm like, "Yes." They're like, "Well, what's with the black eye and these Band-Aids and everything like that?" I was like, "Oh, well, this is from barbed wire. This is from a staple gun." And yeah, they're like, "Right." I said, "It's from a show that I did on the weekend." They're like, "Oh, so you consented to this?" I was like, "Yes." They're like, "Oh, so no one's hurting you at home?" I'm like, No, I'm good." So yeah, that was a fun because I was by the time I finished grade 12, I was 18, so I would have been 17 at this point. So yeah, 17 years old, going to high school, current hardcore champion of Australia, traveling around, and yeah, it was pretty hectic, but a lot of fun.
Invited them to the show.
I did. I did I did spots on Parade and try to advertise shows, and because I was in the newspaper and stuff for winning the title, and they're like, "Oh, we need to advertise it. The champion pro wrestler goes to Beanley High," and so yeah.
I still remember I was at primary school, and our principal was like, "Oh, we don't hit people," and talking about no violence. I'm just sitting there thinking, isn't there a wrestling show in a couple of days in this very building?
Yep.
The show.
Nice. Such a good venue, man. I always loved wrestling there. I did a couple shows there in I think 2016 to 2018. I did a couple of returns because IPW will always be home, man. That's I'm so grateful for everything that IPW has ever done for me, and RIP let me go back, and it was awesome, man. It's still home.
That, absolute legends. I'm very soon next month. I'm going back down to IPW to film for them.
Awesome, man.
We got
that's so good.
Cool plans.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That's really nice. And
yeah,
I still remember the first time I walked into IPW.
Yeah.
Josh was talking very slowly, "Oh, this is gonna happen." We open the door. "Everybody, John!"
That's so good. I love that.
I'm thinking,
that's
this ain't
awesome.
wrestlers. What the hell did I say? They said 3 jokes. I laughed at 2. The first one, I think it was clear as day that I was just laughing.
Yeah.
Didn't know what they were saying.
Awesome. Oh, that's so good. As long as you're having fun, that's all that matters. But yeah, no, Josh and the whole crew down there are amazing. I actually caught up with them recently at Dreamworld when they did the Lucha Festival at Dreamworld. So that was cool. Got to catch up with everyone. So it was really good.
The show before I went. And I also know that you traveled outside Australia for your match out of WCW, I think.
Yeah. So the first time I ever traveled out of my home company, most people travel interstate. I went to New Zealand. So I went to New Zealand in June 2006. Was my first time over there. So I went to IPW in Auckland, where I defended the hardcore title against the Machine in IPW in a hardcore match. So I actually got set on fire in the match. So that's a fun.
That was the next question.
Yeah, no, that was pretty hectic. So just turned 18 years old, still in high school, flying overseas to wrestle. Yeah, man, amazing. I spent a week over there, and yeah, such an awesome experience, man. I got to go over to IPW twice in 2006, and then I actually went to KPW in Christchurch in Christchurch? Yeah, in 2010. So yeah, I did 3 trips to New Zealand, which was awesome.
Yeah, what was that like? Just going there for the first time?
It was
going to happen.
No, I didn't know what to expect because I knew a couple of the Kiwi boys because they had come over for IPW because we were doing shows called Rival Turf where it was like IPW Australia versus IPW New Zealand. Well, we were still MIW at the time, so and like Hawk had a really amazing, and I believe they still do. Obviously, they share the IPW name with New Zealand, so they had a really cool relationship with all the guys over there, and those guys have gone on to be absolute legends of the New Zealand scene. Like Vinny Dunn just went into the IPW Hall of Fame. Dave Deluxio, Dal Knox, who I still feel to this day has the coolest finisher I've ever seen in pro wrestling, which is the Knocks Out. I knew that there were a good bunch of guys over there, and then I get looked after. So yeah, I went over, did the show in June for just one of their normal shows, and then I also went back in, I think it was September or October of 2006, and did the Armageddon Expo, which is like their version of Supernova. So spent the weekend down there. I did 6 matches in 3 days, and yeah, awesome times.
What were you thinking knowing that you would have fire in the ring?
Oh man, I was excited, like nervous, but I also trusted Machine. Like, so Machine, God rest his soul, and we always think of him. He was like inspired by like Mick Foley, your hardcore legends and stuff like that. And he used to wear a mask very similar to Mick Foley's Mankind mask. And he was this big, scary, monstrous presence, but he was so gentle and protective, and like he smashed a terracotta plate. Tongue-tied terracotta plate over my head, and he's like, "You all right, bro?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm good. All right, bro, let's go to the table." I'm like, "Oh shit, okay." So no, it was awesome, man. Like, obviously, I was nervous. I'd only just turned 18. I'm literally still a kid traveling internationally by myself. So yeah, no, it was awesome. It was really, really cool.
I feel like when you watch the wrestling, you forget that they're actually super nice people.
Oh, we are, man. Like, it's so funny. Like, people are like, "Oh, you guys aren't so scary outside the ring." I'm like, well, no, we're larger than life characters. We're showing a character, but we're at the end of the day, we're humans. We got real feelings.
I was scared to approach Bojack, and now I've interviewed him.
Yeah, love Bojack. Really nice guy. Love him.
I was nervous. He had the championship. He was in a suit.
Oh, hell yeah. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I remember going to AWF show at Supernova, and this one, I kept going up to this one wrestler saying, "You're a scaredy cat. You're a scaredy cat." And, I've just probably yelled at him like 100 times, and then he does, "What did you say?" and just charges at me. And I walk backwards, and then later in the show, he's like, "You guys all suck." I'm sorry. "You guys all suck."
Yeah. So good, man. I love that. That's awesome.
And also going back, I know a backyard fight, I think it's called. Might be a mistake with the cars. Backyard.
Oh, the Junkyard Bash? Yes. Yeah. Oh my goodness, the Junkyard Bash.
I've talked to I think RIP and Flash about that.
Yep.
What did you think about that type of match? Because I got to witness that.
Not only witness it, I was in 2 of them. So I was there for the very first one ever, which actually was it happened 3 weeks after I started training. So January 2004, it might have been February 2004 was the very first ever Junkyard Bash. And I remember Hawk like talking about this concept of what he was going to do, and he's like, "We're going to have the ring, and we're going to have three wrecked cars around the ring." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "And we're going to use the cars as weapons." And I was like, "Wow, this is crazy." So like, first one I filmed, and then the second one I was actually in, and dude, it was wild. Like, because it was unpredictable, because obviously we didn't know what would happen, what was going to go on, like, and there was so many people involved, and like, there's a really famous photo. I think it's in Junkyard Bash 2, where I'm choke slamming H2O onto the roof of a car from the bonnet, and I've got him like fully extended. And then I think Junkyard Bash 3, Scorn tried to punch me in the face with his arm literally on fire, like, because Scorn and I used to be a tag team and split up, and it was so funny. I remember Scorn like lighting his hand on fire. I'm like, "Dude, what are you gonna do?" He's like, "Oh, it'll be fine. I'll punch through the glass, and there's a bucket of water inside the car." I'm like, "You're not going to punch through the glass." He's like, No, it'll be fine." So I remember him setting his arm on fire. He's lining it up. And I just move, and he's like, "Rah!" And just Scorny being Scorny. I'm like, "Dude, oh shit." Like,
maybe I haven't truly watched IPW.
Oh man, hectic. Like, I love Scorny to death. He's still going too, which is amazing. Makes me so happy.
I feel like this might be the same. I got told by Flash saying before you hit the car, you just stop thinking. You don't think about it. You just
let your whole body just relax and go into it. Just trust yourself, you know.
It's like what Pirate King said, one of the commentaries. Wrestlers are crazy, but you must respect them. The people that manage the wrestlers are crazier, but you have to respect them.
Absolutely. And you have to respect everyone that's willing to put their body on the line for what we do. Like, it is, in my mind, professional wrestling is the last form of real life physical art. Like, there's no, and it's like one of the biggest things, and we spoke about this on stream a couple of weeks ago, where people go, oh, there was a botch. You can't say that, because obviously in acting and TV shows, if a mistake happens, they go, all right, cut, let's go again. Like, can't do it in wrestling. If it happens live. You got to keep going. So, like, and it's like people go, oh, it's all scripted, it's all BS. I'm like, do you watch Game of Thrones? They're like, oh, well, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. So you believe that the mountain crushed a man's skull with his thumbs? Oh, no, it's different. I'm like, it's fantasy. It's storytelling. It's poetry. It's So like
so much comedy, horror.
Absolutely, man. Exactly. It's real life entertainment, and we're illusionists of pain. We're telling stories. Like, yes, we're trained how to not kill ourselves, but the risks are incredibly real. Like, you know, I'm an absolute prime example of, you know, an injury can result into something crazy happening. So, but no, like it's beautiful, man. And I love seeing what Australian wrestling's doing at the moment, and especially, you know, Queensland wrestling's absolutely booming. Australian wrestling is booming, and it's so cool to see, you know.
Yeah, like I remember one of my friends came up to me and was like, you know, it's not real. And I remember I whispered to him, you know, Thanos actually never snapped. That never happened.
Yeah. One of my favorite things to say, people go, oh, it's not real. I'm like, cool. Can you fake gravity? They're like, no. I'm like, so if I grab you and throw you in the air, regardless of how much training you have, what's going to happen? They're like, well, I'm going to hit the ground. I'm like, right. And what happens when you hit the ground? Oh, it'll hurt.
Yeah. I still remember on an interview, I got told this was a bad choice for a first show. My friend was like, oh, do they really get hurt? Put on Mick Foley versus Undertaker.
Oh, man. Brutal.
We watched that, and then we watched the normal SmackDown. Nice.
Yeah, my go-to match, when anyone's like, oh, I've never watched wrestling, I show them Samoa Joe versus Kenta Kobashi, or Rob Van Dam versus Jerry Lynn in ECW. Like, they're my usual go-to matches. For anyone that's never seen wrestling, I show them that.
I like John Cena versus AJ Styles.
Oh, incredible. At Royal Rumble 2016?
I'd say Rumble, but either one.
Yeah. No, amazing.
I have
Absolutely.
a ring mat for that match.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Yeah. That's sick. That's awesome. Phenomenal match. Absolutely.
Yeah, and on that, what's a match that we have to see from you?
From me?
Christopher Daniels, but is there a match we have to watch if you want to be a fan of you?
Man, I've been so lucky to work with so many incredible talents and people that have gone on to do amazing things. One match that jumps out at me straight away is myself versus Mikey Broderick from PWA Queensland Resistance in January 2008. That is one of my all-time favorite matches. I'd actually just come back from a shoulder injury, and I was thrown into the main event with Mikey, and Mikey was also the dual PWA champion at the time. So he had the heavyweight title and the national title from memory. That's a big match. Myself versus Chris Hero from Rise of the Warriors 2007. Anything with Dean Draven, like Dean and I used to beat the hell out of each other, and always loved working with Dean. There's so much out there, but I'm proud of the match with Christopher Daniels because that happened on 1 hour's notice. Originally, I was scheduled to verse someone else, and then that just changed. So, that's still hectic. So, I got a pinfall victory over Christopher Daniels.
Yeah, and being that short notice, like you won that match.
Yeah.
So that's so much faith.
It was crazy, man. Like an amazing experience too. Like to get to work with, Mr. Daniels and to learn from him, and especially everything he had done in his career at that point was just wild. So, and like one of my all-time favorite matches of him is him versus AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe at Unbreakable in TNA in 2007, I think, off the top of my head. Amazing, man.
And with you done amazing matches that you love, what's your dream match that you wish you could have had?
I always wanted to wrestle Abyss. Abyss and Shawn Michaels. Like they are my two. Like Shawn Michaels is my all-time favorite wrestler, which is so funny because people go, "Oh, you're Undertaker fan." I'm like, "Yes." They're like, "He's your all-time favorite?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "What?" So yeah, no, I loved Shawn. Shawn is my all-time favorite. But yeah, I wanted to wrestle Abyss. I was this close to getting to wrestle Abyss, which was really exciting. Just unfortunately, things didn't work out, but that's what happens, and we roll with it. But yeah, no, I would love to have wrestled Abyss or Shawn Michaels. That would have been my dream match.
What would be the stipulation?
With Abyss, it would have been like probably Monsters Ball or like hardcore something silly.
Backyard bash.
Do another Junkyard Bash, yeah. But with Shawn, I would just want to do one-on-one, just straight wrestling. Like I love storytelling and psychology in matches. I think that's a very big thing. It's also something I feel that is also becoming a bit of a lost art, is the art of storytelling in wrestling and having everything mean something and have a reason.
Yeah, I really like when they actually have a storyline instead of these two would be a good fight.
Yeah, no. You got to give it a reason for the people to be there and to care about who's in the match, what they're doing, why they're doing it. We're telling a story, and people are spending their hard-earned money. They want to be entertained and see a good night out.
Yeah. And like you've collected so many championships. What was your experience winning your first championship?
I didn't even know about it. So that's the crazy thing, man. I had no idea that it was happening until it happened. So my very first ever championship was the MIW tag team titles in July of 2005, July 18th, 2005, off the top of my head. I love numbers and dates. It's one of my favorite things. So my first ever championship was July 2005. Big John Marshall and I won the tag titles, and it was such a crazy feeling, but also it was sort of a bittersweet because obviously people win a championship, they want all their family and friends there. I didn't know, but it was cool though because I went home that night after the show, and as I said, I grew up with my grandparents. So I laid the tag team title on the kitchen table. So when they woke up in the morning, they saw the belt. So yeah, no, it was awesome, man. I was so grateful and lucky to do that, and to win my first title at 16 was wild. Yeah.
Some people take years and years to win the title.
Yeah.
So win the title.
Yeah, no, it was awesome, man. So yeah, no, like I won the tag titles twice in 2005, won the hardcore title twice in 2006, and then I didn't win another title until May 2008 when I won the Showtime Wrestling Alliance Southern Cross title. So yeah.
How did your family react to that? Would they whose championship is this?
Yeah, no, my dad's like, did you win this? I'm like, yeah, I did. It was really exciting. It's funny though, the night I won the hardcore title the first time, it was in a rumble, and I got busted open, and my mum came up to me after the show. She's like, are you bleeding? I'm like, no, Mum, it's tomato sauce. It's fine. And like the next day I get up and walk out into the kitchen, and obviously got a cut on my head, and she's like, yeah, lied to me. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, yeah. So it was kind of funny. Yeah. But yeah, no, man.
With winning like 19 championships, does one point out to you as that was awesome?
Big one for me, man, was winning the PWA Queensland International title at Summer Rain 2008, that was a big one for me because at the time that was considered like one of the biggest titles in Australian wrestling. And to win that from Obi Cartel, because there'd only been two other champions prior, and that was Australian Wolf and then Obi. And Obi was undefeated from the moment he debuted in PWA Queensland till that moment. So I actually beat Obi for the belt. So that was a big one. But then also when I won the Venom Pro Wrestling heavyweight title from Lynx Lewis Jr. in February of 2018, which was my last title. But I won that in my hometown with all my family and friends there. There was close to 400 plus people. Will Ospreay was on the show against Jake Nova. So that was pretty cool as well. So that one definitely sticks out. Always loved winning tag team titles. Like when I won the WCW/MIW Legacy tag titles with Zero, that was up there. All of them, man. My time in WA for Schwa, winning the tag titles over there. So I've been so lucky to win multiple titles and have really amazing moments. Like a really cool moment was when we did Rumble Rock. And we wrestled at the arena in Fortitude Valley, and there was like 1,200 people there, and Regurgitator was the band. Like we had bands on between matches, and there's this really cool photo of me standing on the second rope after the match, and there's just like a sea of people, and I'm just like posing. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. So yeah,
that's really cool. Also, I want to show you something I got.
Sure.
So I think it was Supernova 2018. This was the story that I was going to tell on your stream.
Yeah.
We go to Supernova and we see this ring in the middle.
Yeah.
And we're like, there's wrestling there. This is so cool. And we're looking around trying to find the entrance.
Yeah.
We got the ring here. We got the crowd here. So, not to our knowledge, right behind us are doors.
Yep.
And we're standing there and we're just, what? And then we turn around and TNT's grabbed my arm and like pulled me and got my mum to move. And we turn around and I think forget his name. I think it's Johnny or something. He starts coming out and you, for whatever reason, you're not looking straight or down. You're both looking up.
Yeah.
And you're both doing like this. I'm like, you could have crushed me.
I always had a habit of just like being big and tall and screaming and yelling. Novas were always fun, man. I love Supernova so much.
And I got this right here.
Hey, let's go. That's mine, man. Yeah.
I still remember. I was like 10 or something. Like signature.
That's so cool, man. Hell yeah. Oh, that's awesome, dude.
What was it like wrestling without a barrier?
I always worried about it because I was worried that people would get landed on and stuff. But I
remember people like saying, move.
Yeah, move back, stay out of the way. Yeah. Supernovas were always fun, man. Like my very first Supernova was in November 2008 for Brisbane Nova, and then I wrestled at Supernova every year up until I think my last one was 2019. Yeah.
The last one?
That was one of my last ones, yeah. So, which was awesome. And like I wrestled in Sydney. I did Sydney Nova, WA Nova, and Brisbane and Gold Coast Nova. So, missed out on Melbourne and Adelaide. But yeah, or like wrestling at Sydney Supernova, man, is a whole nother monster because where they hold Nova there, I can't remember. I want to say it's the Sydney Dome, but that's not where it is. But essentially, where they set up the wrestling for Supernova in Sydney, it's literally in the very middle of the convention, and then there's this massive dome above you, and it was one of the coolest things, man. Like, yeah.
Like I still remember. I'm not sure if you would remember it. You were like at the end of the ring, and the guys punched you, and you've fallen down on the ground.
Yep.
It was bad, but looking back, but me and 4 other kids, maybe like the oldest would be 11 and the youngest would be 8. We crowd around you.
Yeah.
Laying down and we're standing over you, and you're like, Disneyland. And
Yes. Yeah. Because I always had fun at Novas, man. Like, I would be like, oh, look at the birdies. I'm at Disneyland. I'm having a wonderful time. And kids would be like, are you okay? I'm fine. And like, I remember one, I think, who was it there? It was Gold Coast Nova. And I can't remember who I wrestled, but like, I took a big bump. I think it was against Maniac. It might have been Maniac. And I wrestled Maniac at Gold Coast Nova. And Wayne gave me a choke slam, and I literally just did the like full dead cell, and I didn't move for like 20 minutes. Like I just laid there, and people were like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Can't feel my legs." Like just so much fun.
It was so fun because like I remember saying, "Are you at Disneyland? Where's Mickey?" And you just pointed at the ref, Mickey.
I remember that. I do remember that.
So
that's
close
awesome.
to you. I'm standing over you.
Yeah.
It's like
wicked.
Yeah, looking
So
back,
good.
I'm like, I don't know if that was the safest, but it was fun. I was like in John Cena gear.
Yeah.
If you watch it, you can hear me constantly screaming.
Awesome. That means you're having fun.
The highest pitched voice you could ever hear. If I play it now, turn it down because it's so hot. You have been warned. Ready?
Awesome, dude.
So that was
so
the same
good.
show that the wrestler scared me.
Yeah.
And I also know you went to a tryout for WWE.
Yeah. So I was very lucky to have 2 tryouts with WWE. I had one in 2011 and one in 2014, and both absolutely incredible experiences, but also very different from each other. Like the first one I did, there was only a group of 8 of us in total, and we just did 6-minute matches. And that was one that we've spoken about on stream that Cena was at and watched, and that was wild. And then the 2014 tryout was also just after they really started pushing NXT and the Performance Center and stuff, and that was a 2-day tryout, and brother, it was death. Like it was one of the hardest, most intense things I've ever experienced in my life. And so grateful for those opportunities and those experiences. But yeah, man, it was brutal.
Yeah. We can't touch on it too much, but I know like you had death by cardio, you said.
Yeah, that's it, man. Yeah, death by cardio. Yeah, I still have like numb flashbacks whenever I see a flight of stairs.
Today at gym, I was just doing it, and she's like, "Are you tired?" And I responded by, "I would never be able to do a WWE tryout. It's only been 30 minutes. What?"
Yeah, no, man. It was from 9 till 5, literally nonstop, constantly moving, going, doing something. Like, yeah.
Was John Cena just there, or did you keep looking?
Yeah. No, the first one, like, so he was there in 2011. He was just chilling at ringside, said hello to everyone, and then just watched. And as I said, that was very different to the 2014 tryouts because the 2011 ones were literally just matches and just seeing what we could do. And then obviously the 2014 one was very intense, very drills, physio, like cardio, promos, matches, like, really putting people to the test.
Yeah, did they get you to just say random things in the promos, or did you have
No, they gave you like directions on what they wanted. Like they give you a scenario, and then you would work with that.
Yeah, I still remember my trainer, I think, got to meet him a bit afterwards.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they were like in the gym and they were working out, and it had to be a friend to tell her, "You know that's John Cena, right?" So she goes over, "Can I have a photo?" Yep. Zack Ryder, can you take the photo?
Amazing.
Should have been me.
That's wild.
Yeah, she had no idea. Apparently the Usos were there based on her descriptions, I'm guessing.
Right. Nice. Awesome.
Yeah. And what was the difference between wrestling in a mask to without?
So obviously for me, like the mask was a lot of like for confidence and stuff until I felt comfortable, but also looked the part. So it was actually Hawk who took my mask off. So I obviously debuted as Coyote in 2005 with the mask, wrestled every single weekend of 2005, and halfway through 06. And then Hawk and I were feuding over the hardcore title, and we had built up to having a flaming barrel of hell match. So, which is it's a 44-gallon drum that was hanging from the ceiling like a pendulum, and it was on fire. Like, so that was, and Hawk like literally hog-tied me to the barrel. I'm flat on my back, and he just comes over and just rips my mask off, and yeah, that was it. So mask on and never wore it again, sort of thing. And yeah, it was awesome. Like it was good to like have the mask to build that confidence, and then once it was gone, man, it was the right time, and yeah, it was good.
I feel like I've messed a lot with IPW now.
Well, IPW's been running since like the late 90s, man. So there's been so much happen over the years. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to gain the most knowledge about the company that I can.
Awesome, man. That's so good. No, that's brilliant.
It's really cool. Like I've heard about the wheel they used to have.
Oh, the Wheel of Fate. Oh my God, dude, that is. People used to get terrified if they were booked on the Wheel of Fate shows because legitimately there's no magic, no like secret smoke and mirrors. This was all legitimate, like spin the wheel, whatever happens. Like you're sitting backstage going, who am I wrestling? Who am I wrestling? Who am I wrestling? And like the wild thing, man, and we tried to calculate like the odds in this happening. Scorn and I were tag team champions. We just had a match, defended the belts, and Hawk's like, you guys are going to have the wheel spun on you right now. And we didn't know that was going to happen. Well, okay, cool, let's do it. And he's like, whatever happens, it'll happen later tonight. Okay, spins the wheel, my name comes up. And I was like, cool. And he's like, all right, let's find out who your opponent is. Spins the wheel and Scorn. So there and then, Scorny and I, as tag team champions. Yeah, like... happened. Literally just happened. Like, I'm not even making this up. It was a legitimate spin of the wheel, Scorn and I one-on-one right there and then.
How do you plan, like, in the ring?
You just go with it, man. You just call it on the fly. Like, the other time it happened was the very first Wheel of Fate. It was me against Mitch McCarthy, who at the time was wrestling as the Kid. Or Jet, I can't remember which at the time. But yeah, and we did a ring the bell match. So it was like, you both start in the ring, first one out of the ring to ring the bell wins. Match starts, Mitch kicks me in the nuts, hits me with a DDT, rings the bell. Match done. Like, that was literally it. Like, yeah.
So, like, you just have to think of the end, how to end it. Like,
just call it on the fly. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Definitely not the same, but I still remember that's something that's reminded me of it. I did like drama, and the teacher gave us this what would happen in the story. It had to be related to sharks, and we had 1 minute, and
that's
this
awesome.
Had to happen at this specific time. Well, I was kind of nervous, so I wasn't listening. So somebody has said, "This is how it's going to end," and not a second later, I give my version, and everyone's like, "Which one are we following?"
Do them both at the same time.
I think it was a giant shark and a shark tornado.
Nice.
That's
awesome.
But yeah, like you just had to completely go off.
Just go it, man. Yeah.
Was there any like other crazy things you did in wrestling?
Oh man, I've done all sorts of wild matches. Like I've done, the Junkyard Bash. I've done steel cage matches. I've done fans bring the weapons, all sorts of crazy things. So, I've done, death matches and all that sort of stuff. I did a lot of silly things when I was younger. But that was all part of the fun.
I wish I could bring back the fans bring weapons. So it would bring
nice. Hell yeah. Yeah, well, I know
do that, and then the rest.
I know IPW New Zealand still does it.
Oh,
I think
really?
they do it every December. I think their end of the year shows usually fans bring the weapons. So
sure. It's got the Rumble.
Yeah.
December.
Yeah. No, IPW New Zealand used to always do fans bring the weapons every year, like at the end of the year. And obviously IPW Gold Coast do the Santa Rumble and stuff, which is always so much fun. Like, that looks always like a blast.
Yeah. Nowadays, what is your what's the word I'm looking for? Link with wrestling.
So I'm still heavily involved. I will always be a part of wrestling. It's all I've ever known for the last sort of 22 years now. I'm training and mentoring people now. I do ring announcing. I do commentary. I'm actually going to be running a training seminar down in Melbourne because I'm heading down to Melbourne in 2 weeks for the Game Expo. So been asked to attend and run a session down there. So I'll always be a part of it in some way, man. 100%. I'm so grateful for everything wrestling has ever done for me and the friends and relationships and everything that it has given me. Wrestling doesn't owe me anything, and I owe a lot to it. And I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for wrestling.
Yeah, and you got like amazing people. Like you had your Funko Pop.
Yeah, I got my Coyote. Yeah, I got my Coyote Pop. I've got a couple of action figures, a few different bits and pieces. So yeah, but like just a lot of like really wonderful memories, man. Like the fact that I got to travel around the world doing wrestling and travel around our own country. Like it was really funny. My kids the other day, we were talking about my trip to Melbourne coming up, and they're like, "Oh, Dad, how many times have you been on a plane?" And I said, "Oh, guys, I've lost count, but I think I'm up to like 160 flights." They're like, "Whoa!" Like, it's so cool that I can share that with my kids now. It was really funny. Last year we were watching Raw, and I was like, "Oh, that's Jonah, Bronson Reed."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, do you know him, Dad?" He's like, "Yeah, I've wrestled him." They're like, "Whoa!" Like, it's cool when I see people that I've worked with or wrestled in Australia who've gone on to do amazing things. So it's such a cool thing, man, to see people like Mark Davis. Davis and I went to high school together, and
Cool.
Davis and I started. Well, I was already wrestling, and then Davis came up to me one day. He's like, "Hey, have you ever seen this match in Ring of Honor?" I was like, "You know about Ring of Honor?" Like, and Davis and I had never spoken until that point, and then we just hit it off, man. Went to train, and like I caught up with him at AEW because I just did the tour, obviously. And it's really funny that at the end of the Brisbane show, they obviously did the Nutbush. The PA system wasn't working, so they couldn't play the Nutbush over the PA system. So Davis jumped out of the ring and grabbed my phone and played the Nutbush through the microphone. Yeah, so that was really cool. And like he comes out and gives me a massive hug, and everyone's like, "Why is he calling you brother?" I'm like, "Because we're brothers. Like we know each other." They're like, "Whoa!" And it was really cool, man. So yeah, no, still heavily involved with it, helping people. I've got a lot of really exciting things in the works over the next few months with wrestling. So yeah, still very much a part of it, still helping, and I want to give back. That's the biggest thing. Like I want to help the next gen of wrestlers. Like I obviously won't ever be wrestling in the ring again. Joys being legless, but it would also be selfish of me to get back into wrestling and compete. I don't want to ever risk my family's safety or my own, or of course whoever I'm wrestling with. As much as I would love to wrestle, and we've seen one-legged wrestlers before in the past, but I've had my time. I've done things that I'm so incredibly grateful for and lucky to have achieved. So now I just want to help people, and see people up and coming. And like, you see a lot of the Queensland talent, like Kyla Knight, Bobby Bishop, Strong 94, Mitch Ryder. Like there's so, yeah, absolutely. The culture, 100%. Like Toa, all these amazing guys, and like it's so good to see that Queensland wrestling, but also Australian wrestling, are in such good hands. And that it's great. It's a wonderful time for Australian wrestling. It really is.
And like I really liked Australian wrestling because that was my way to bring my friends. Because they weren't watching WWE. They weren't watching like Raw and SmackDown, but they would go to the shows and just have so much fun.
And that's what it's meant to be, man. It's meant to be fun. You're creating those memories for those people being there.
Like, I have one friend that's like super into wrestling. We still talk about it. Like, every single time something big happens, I'll get a message.
Nice. Yeah. That's so good. That's awesome.
Yeah, like currently the man in the box, whoever that is.
Yeah. Who do you think it is? What's your thoughts?
I wanted to be Chris Jericho. I'm really forgetting his name. The guy from AEW with the face paint.
Danhausen?
I think it's Danhausen.
I hope it's Danhausen. I very much love Danhausen. I think it'd be very, very cool.
Because like when it happened, my first thought was, is there a prop in there? Or are we dealing with someone crazy enough to stay in a box?
Yeah.
Danhausen.
Yeah. That's so good. No, that'd be awesome. Well, obviously Chamber's on this weekend, so we'll find out in, 2 days? Tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, there you go. Far out.
I saw a video today saying it was today. I'm like, no, SmackDown, right?
Tomorrow.
SmackDown. Yeah, I've once booked an interview over the Royal. I think it was like Royal Rumble or something. I went, no. Oh, okay. It's in a different country, different time zone. It was close.
Yeah. Nice, man. Awesome.
Yeah, and I also saw on my feed first the Mortal Kombat trailer.
Hey, yeah, that's.
And there was one person that definitely stood out for me.
Who would that be? Yeah, man, that's like, I've been so lucky with stuff over the last sort of 12 months with getting my name out there and sort of like my brand with streaming and like Mortal Kombat was wild, dude. Like I've always loved Mortal Kombat ever since I was a kid, you know, always played the games, the movies, the TV shows, everything is something very near and dear to my heart. And to be a part of Mortal Kombat, even in just a small role of being a background extra, the feedback I got from it was really cool too, because the director and producer, like Todd Garner, the producer, came and spoke to me on set, and he's like, we absolutely love your mannerisms and your movements and what you're doing, because the shot you see in the trailer, it's only for a brief second, but there's a whole scene to that. So I'm going to be in that scene for the whole time, which is awesome. And like the fact that I'm standing directly behind Carl Urban's pretty wild. Like,
was he actually there when you filmed that?
Yeah. No. So everything's happening in that scene. So, and PJ O'Connor's also in the trailer as well. And Lucas Gold's also in the movie as well as an extra. So there's a lot of Queensland wrestlers who are a part of that movie. But yeah, for me to be a part of that was something really special. Like I've got the pay slips framed, like, because it literally says, you know, Mortal Kombat 2. I was like, straight on the wall, you know. So but yeah, man, that was an amazing experience. And then obviously like last year at PAX with Mr. Darkroom, John Robinson, he and I doing our spot, which has now had over 500,000 views, which is just insane to me. Like, so I've been so lucky to be seen on like such a big level. And obviously with Mortal Kombat, like, you know, from memory, I think the trailer's already had like 5 million views in 24 hours. I don't know what's up to today, but like
more now.
Yeah, and like people still are tagging me each day, like, "Oh my God, look, Coyote, you're there!" I'm like, "Hey, that's me!" Like, and that's something that I'm really proud of. Like, that's something I can say that, you know, that's there forever now. That I was in the Mortal Kombat movie.
That is awesome. And, I'm not sure, but I heard you were also helping with Young Rock.
Yeah, no, I was in Young Rock. I was literally in a blink and you miss it sort of moment. So. Obviously, Young Rock also took place during the pandemic, so I was meant to do some wrestling scenes for that, but that fell through. But yeah, there's a scene that I'm in where because Maniac obviously plays Sergeant Slaughter in Young Rock, so the scene where Sergeant Slaughter's having a barbecue on the beach and Jake the Snake walks over and he's like, "Oh, have you seen my snake?" And he's like, "I've seen him. He's resting in pieces," and he's cooked up the snake, and I'm in the background with Mitch Ryder, Bobby Bishop. Mitch Ryder, Bobby Bishop, and Spaceman. We're all there pretending to drink in the background.
Excuses to watch it again.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. So that was an awesome experience. Yeah. So that was really, really cool. Because that was December 2021, so that's a few years ago now too.
I still remember watching it, one of the episodes, like again, probably like third watch. I'm like, wait, was that Jesse Love? That's Zeke.
Yeah,
there's R.I.P.
Yeah. Well, R.I.P.'s in it. Renegade played Greg the Hammer Valentine. Matty Wahlberg was, Grayson Waller was Ric Flair. Maniac was Sergeant Slaughter. So there was a lot of Aussie wrestlers in it, which was, Caveman Ugg was the Blue Vulture, I think it is, the guy that Rocky Johnson wrestles in the car park.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of cool guys in it.
I thought I recognized someone. You just blew my mind with Hulk Hogan, Grayson Waller.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I did not notice that.
Yeah, Grayson was Ric Flair. Yeah.
So, like, you've had, like, relationships with, like, these people that have made big time. What's that been like? Just being like everywhere now.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Like I still have them reach out as well. Like it was cool, especially when I was having my surgery for my amputation and stuff, and I had people reach out to me who I stay in contact with. Like Tony Storm messaged me, Davis messaged me. I had all these wonderful people reach out and check in and stuff. So and it's so cool, man. Like, I'm so proud of them. Like, I got pretty emotional at AEW. Because obviously seeing my friends doing amazing stuff, and like I was literally there the first day Tony walked into training at IPW. So it's really special when you see your friends doing something that you love and they're doing so well at it.
Yeah, like just witnessing that all and just being a part of that.
Yeah. Oh, it's special, man. It's so good. Like, it makes you happy.
Yeah. It's not just like it should have been me, but like that's
no, never. Like that. Like, I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason, and like, if I didn't have my foot reconstruction, I probably never would have taken up streaming. And like, I've been so thankful for everything streaming's done for me over the last nearly 6 years now, and the opportunities it's presented to me, like doing the charity events, going to the conventions as a creator. Like that's crazy to me that someone's like seen my stuff and gone, hey, we want you at our convention. Like, that's like, dude, I'm just a guy who's just trying to have fun and make the best out of life. But no, like, anyone that's getting jealous or mad or has that mentality of, oh, it should have been me, either should have worked harder or, been willing to put in the work, but they should never, ever be jealous or upset because they're helping the scene. Like, it's, obviously, Rhea is one of the biggest names in professional wrestling now.
My friends know her.
Yeah, exactly. People know who Rhea Ripley is, and Bronson Reed, Grayson Waller, Robbie Eagles, Shane Haste. Like, I could, Jag won the trios titles at Tokyo Dome. Gino Gambino, like all these amazing talents that are traveling the world. And you've got to be happy for them, man. Like, it's just, it's crazy because, 10, 15 years ago, it was so hard for anyone to get seen overseas. But now people are going, oh, snap, Australia is going off. Like, the production values of shows, the talent that we're producing, and the fact that all the guys and girls and everyone is putting in the work to make themselves look better, to upping their costumes, their ring gear, and just themselves, like the physiques that are in wrestling now it's so good, man. People are hitting the gym and they're taking it seriously because that's what it is. It's professional wrestling. You want to look the part, be the part. Like, I was very lucky to be 6'10", and I had decent arms, but I was never shredded. Not that I needed to be because of my height, but you want to look the part. You want to get noticed, and like, you look at Jesse Love, man. Jesse is ripped. Good God. Like, you could grate cheese off that man's abs. Like, and the things that, Slex is doing with Body Biz, like seeing all these people jump on Body Biz and training with, Steve and Tome Philippe, Marcus Pitt with all of his training through 365 and all sorts of stuff. Like, it's so good to also see guys all working together to help each other. And that's a big thing because, like, we all work together, we achieve together. That's the big thing.
Yeah, like I remember me and my friend probably being 3 years since he's been to an IPW show. We got in there, enjoyed it. We walked out, and I was like, "Oh, what was the best match of the night?"
Yeah.
We had a full discussion because we couldn't agree.
Yeah, man.
It was like this match or this match or this. We just kept bouncing between matches. There were so many good options.
Oh, and that's the thing. Like, everyone's putting in the work, and the thing is too, if people are not putting in the work, they're not getting booked, and that's how it should be. Like, if you're not willing to put in the work to keep your spot, there's going to be someone hungry that's ready to take your spot.
If one has to go up, one must fall.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, like I remember, like IPW and like all these other wrestling companies are so nice. Like, I was having the best day, and I walked in, and the first thing I see is, "Hi, Joe. Come over here. We'll have a conversation over here later when you put down your stuff."
Yeah, nice, man. So that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's from another interviewer / commentator. And it wasn't the only one. Like, we had big conversations with other people. Like, one of the Eshays said, "Oh, hey, legend." Another wrestler told me he was kissing up and saying that.
Just trying to get on the show. No, man, that's so good. Like, you're doing amazing things too, man. Like, you're putting in the efforts. Like, I know that I've watched a lot of your interviews, and like you're always there with the information. You've done the research, which is great. You're not just going, "By golly, I'm gonna do an interview."
That's what my trainer said. What if you just do a video with no research one day?
Yeah. So no, and that's awesome, man. And you're helping getting the word out there, So no, it's awesome, dude.
Yeah. One thing I like to do is like try to find something no one knows about and just surprise the person.
Ooh,
like,
all right. Nice, yeah.
It's like really cool. Like, all these people have been so welcoming. Like, I talked to a heel, and he was like trashing me over and over, like, but like every single time he was like, "Are you okay with it?"
Yeah.
And we're at a point that he doesn't ask anymore.
Yeah, nice, man. That's awesome.
He just slaughters me on the mic. But yeah, like wrestling is so nice and things. And like you're going to what is it called? Game Expo.
Yeah, the Game Expo. So in 2 weeks.
Yeah, like just makes your Twitch account so much bigger now. And
man, it's pretty exciting. Yeah, so like I heading down in 2 weeks. I fly out on the 13th, and it'll be my second year at the Game Expo as a creator, and I got to stream from there last year, and we raised $500 for charity in an hour, which was awesome. Yeah, that's also part of it. So last year we did a charity event for essentially homeless kids in Victoria, and that was cool. They ended up raising $5,000 across the entire weekend because every streamer that wanted to be a part of it got like a 1 hour window, and you could stream from TGX, and like it's such a cool experience, man. Like last year at PAX, which is the biggest gaming convention in the Southern Hemisphere, I got invited to that. And then I had Turtle Beach hit me up and they're like, "Hey, come work at our stall for us." I'm like, "I'm sorry, what?" like, yeah, come run our stall, do commentating and announcing, play some fighting games, and we'll promote you. I'm like, what the hell is happening? Yeah, I was like, let's go. So yeah, no, like streaming has been so awesome, man. Like I compare streaming to like wrestling. It's performing, it's having fun, it's engaging with people. Like I get people from all over the world, and like you've been in my streams. Like when I get someone, I'm like, "Oh, where are you from?" They're like, "Oh, I'm from Lebanon." I'm like, holy hell, like I've had someone that's like, "Oh, I'm from the Czech Republic or the Congo." I'm like, how did you find me? Like it's so wild.
And it's just like an energy in those videos, like hey she dubs. Yeah,
man. I gotta have fun with it, man. Like I love it. Like streaming is so much fun, and to create a platform where people can come in and relax and feel safe and escape reality for a few hours. It's so cool, man, and I love it. Like I've been so fortunate with Twitch, and to be able to do it as a job as well is just awesome,
Yeah, and I was watching like an interview last night. We were talking about like your leg and like all the things you were saying, like being positive. Like you were saying, "Oh, it's okay," and
man,
trying out for the Paralympics.
Yeah. I'm trying to get into the Paralympics for powerlifting, because that's the only sort of weightlifting category they do in the Paralympics. So it's literally just bench press. but they strap you to a bench. You can't use your legs, so it's just pure upper body. Yeah. I saw that you smashed your PB today on chest, so thanks. Kudos to you, my friend. That's awesome. But yeah, so like, yeah, like I never was angry or upset about losing my leg. I've always been it's the mindset. And they said that's one of the reasons why I healed so quickly is because I was so positive about it. And like, I'm human like anyone else. I have my good days. I have my bad days. But I don't let it slow me down. I've never let it change me or define me. Like, there are days where, there have been times where I haven't even been able to put my prosthetic on because something's gone wrong with my stump. But, it's just, you keep going, man. You keep positive and positive things will happen. Everyone has their bad days. Everyone has their good days. But, hard times don't last. They really don't. It's one of Scott Hall's most famous quotes, But yeah, I've always believed that everything happens for a reason. So, yeah.
Yeah, like I was watching that interview and you were just talking like all positivity, where you got there from, like you calling the wrestler saying it's like, okay.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, absolutely. Like I said to, because the initial injury happened while I was wrestling UGG and I've never had any heat with UGG. Like there's literally a photo of him putting my stump in a cravat. Like when we worked GCW together, and like I've never had any ill will to anyone in Aussie wrestling. Like I don't blame anyone for it happening. Like, yeah. So no, it's good, man.
Yeah, it's like you're always nice to people. Like even if they enter your stream and things, you just have to keep that mentality and like wrestling, streaming, life.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. You treat people the way you want to be treated, And kindness is free.
Yeah. Do you want to promote anything like social media, merch?
Yeah, man, sure.
Shows?
Yeah. So you can find me on Twitch every Wednesday to Friday from 9 p.m. Queensland time. So you can find me at twitch.tv/the Giant Koyote, KYOTE. I'm all over social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Find me everywhere. Going to be at the Game Expo from March 14th and 15th down in Melbourne. And got a lot of exciting things in the works. So yeah, but dude, thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate it. Hey, anytime, man. I had a lot of fun. So, yeah, no, keep up doing what you're doing, man. You're doing some awesome work.
Yeah, and keep on with your videos. I've been watching it daily at this point.
Hell yeah, man. Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.